Que lo que, papis. It is OGV. It's episode 16. We got Lexi here back from the Big Apple. First things first, Stripe Golf Co. StripeGolfCo.com. Head to StripeGolfCo.com. Get yourself a hat. Get yourself a visor. All types of headwear. It's amazing. They grind. Check out their Instagram too, at Stripe Golf Co. They're always posting stuff, and it's a really good follow, actually, because it's a lot of golf content, and that's what we love. Lex, what do you got for us?
Shout out Golf Degenerates. Again, hooked me up with some sweet gear. Got a hat, shirt, stickers, towel. They got it all. They had a special July 4th bucket hats. Those sold out, I think, within 30 minutes of them posting them. So if you want their gear, you got to get on it quickly. They got great stuff. Good page. Golf Degenerates. Instagram page is also at Golf Degenerates.
High demand stuff. Hell of a show. We got the Travelers Tournament. Harry English, one of the longest playoffs ever in PGA Tour history. College World Series, the NCAA is right up there with Big Pharma and Big Oil in terms of villains. A little bit of Euro Cup, NBA, and then we got a great decompression for you, recapping our favorite cities in honor of Lex going to New York City. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Lex, the Travelers Championship. We're going to start there. We've been starting with golf lately. I kind of like that trend. Not to say just get it out of the way, but just that's kind of what we do. Actually, this is completely my fault. A little bit of a noodle brain right now. Whole vlog announcement. Right. Golf vlog is being filmed on Thursday with a special guest, John Middlecoff. He's a Bay Area guy, former NFL scout. He's part of Colin Cowherd's network now, and he does his own thing with Guy Haberman. Great football takes, great sports takes. He's just an energetic guy, and I bet he's the same way out on the golf course. So I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be out at Biltmore Links on Thursday. So looking to get that vlog out there probably next week sometimes. Myself and Bella do edit the whole thing ourselves. And I do have a job. So we'll see when I can get that out, but I'm going to get it out as fast as I can. Now to the Travelers.
What I want to shout out Bella. She rocks. And where are you guys playing?
Biltmore Links. So we've been there with Ryan Jensen, Cubs first rounder from 2018, I believe.
Got it.
He was awesome. It was a great time. Biltmore loves us, so we love them back.
Cool. Glad to hear it.
Yep. All right. Travelers Championship. Kramer Hickok. He was the story. Obviously, Harry English, second win on tour this year, I believe. He's already up to like number 2 now in the FedEx Cup. So he's putting himself in position for a Ryder Cup.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was his second win, but I knew he'd been up there in a lot of the tournaments.
Yeah, he won in Hawaii. And then this guy, Kramer Hickok, he was Jordan Spieth's like buddy, like teammate, best friend, whatever you want to call it, at UT. He's even caddied for him a couple times, or one time at the Byron Nelson. And it was just a great, like the crowd, I was watching it live. The crowd was just behind this guy, Kramer. Like they were chanting his name. I mean, I couldn't help but feel so happy for him in the moment. And then he lipped out like 2 putts to win the tournament too.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one. I don't remember. It might have been like the second playoff hole. I mean, the putt must have been at least 30 feet, and it was heading straight for the hole, and it just barely lipped out. And I think that's when English went up and down from a terrible lie in the bunker. Am I right about that?
Yes, you are correct. Great job.
Thank you. Did just a little research. But that seemed like the one where that was his hole to win. It just didn't go his way.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, and then once the second one happened, you're like, shit, like this is Harry E is definitely going to take advantage of this somehow, some way. But shout out to him. He's kind of putting it together. 8 playoff holes is fucking brutal. That, like, every shot is just immense pressure. What's like the longest baseball game you've ever been a part of?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, in Davis, what's the longest one we played at UC Davis?
I don't know. I blacked out all 4 years.
I know. I'm remembering like a blue gold World Series game that went like 16 innings, but that's like I think we played a Stanford game that ended up going 14 innings that we had to split between two separate days. Like had to play had to finish the game like 2 months later. Do you remember that?
I remember. Well, I distinctly remember. No disrespect to Zadorf. I remember we restarted one of the games that we played. I don't think it was extra innings. I just think the game might have got suspended because we had no lights. And distinctly remember Zadorf first pitch of the restart. He gave up a mammoth 3-run bomb or grand slam, one of those. But I mean, it was a no doubter, and it was just
Yeah,
kind of like, oh, and then we have to finish this game, and then we have to restart another game against Stanford. So
yeah. Basically,
not
that
ideal.
that game we started it in Davis in like February. Couldn't finish it, so we had to finish it at Stanford with us being the home team. Not sure how long that was going to go. Sure enough, it lasted about 1 inning because we gave up that like 3-run bomb and that game was over. The
Yeah.
funny thing about that personally was at the beginning of the season, I was a pretty consistent starter. By the time we had gotten to that game, I was not starting that much. So I just got thrown in there for like 1 inning when I hadn't been playing and then was just out for the next game, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you got to love the consistently inconsistent approach
Yeah.
that we took there. But I would imagine like playoff holes is a little bit different than extra innings. Extra innings, you can kind of fall asleep and it's just, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, we're in the 14th inning. 8 playoff holes, it's I gotta hit the fairway here. I gotta hit a good iron shot. I have to do like every single shot is just that much. Like you can definitely fall asleep in an extra inning baseball game. That's why I like the runner on second rule.
I was kind of thinking, well, first of all, I do agree with you on the runners on second rule. We could talk about that more if you want to later. But
No.
I, I was thinking that, these guys are so good. Is there a point where you just say, fuck it, I'm going for a birdie? Like I'm going to be aggressive on this drive. I'm going to be aggressive and hit and hunt the pin and go for the win at some point. But I think they both rattled off like 7 straight pars at one point. I mean, so they're just waiting for the other guy to make the mistake. I don't really know if there's a strategy there, if you just play the shot that you're given or what. I don't know, but I was kind of thinking about at what point do you just go for it? Just go for the win.
Well, English was I think they were trying to, but English was spraying his tee shots. Kramer was not spraying his tee shots, but he wasn't putting it, in I guess the automatic to semi-automatic birdie opportunities. Like he was leaving himself a lot of long birdie putts when he was getting on. So it wasn't. I don't know if they were not playing aggressive. I just think they weren't really executing at the highest level, even though they just kept parring, which is still
Yeah, that
awesome.
makes sense. They're not perfect, but they're so good that they just keep on parring.
Yeah, exactly. They had their like C+ stuff, and they were still just making all day. You got anything else on the Travelers?
Yeah, the one thing that I also saw was that Bubba just had a meltdown. He was tied for the lead and then went +6 for the last 8 holes. But I just wanted like Bubba's a guy that I pretty much just written off. Like, don't really pay much attention to Bubba, but he's been in these tournaments recently. Like, he's actually been up there putting together some good rounds. I saw that he broke the head off his driver, which was just good content.
And he still like put it in the middle of the fairway at 280. Bullshit.
Yeah, that would be nice. So I don't know. Just I mean, I'm not surprised that that he can't finish a tournament, but look out for Bubba. I bet you Bubba comes up with a sneaky win coming up here.
Okay, I like that. Well,
I want that take repeated when it happens.
yeah. I mean, this meeting's being recorded as
Perfect.
the narrator said, so we have the tape. We can go back watch it. Anything before we get to the College World Series and everything that's gone on in that
I think
sphere?
that, I think that's it. We got one more weekend, and then the following weekend is the British Open. Is that correct?
Correct. It's actually called
Okay.
the Open Championship.
Oh shit! It's
They
the British
moved it.
Open tennis.
Do they have? No, that's Wimbledon. I think you're thinking of the French Open.
So then, what's the British?
The British Open
Is there not?
it used to be called the British Open like, I don't know, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I don't think it's
Oh,
called. I don't know how when they just started calling it the Open Championship. I think it's because Britain, like sometimes it's in Ireland, sometimes it's in Scotland. So if anything, they could just call it the United Kingdom Open.
hmm.
But the UK Open, But I guess they just landed on Open Championship because it didn't fall into that. I guess if you want to get political with it, it didn't fall into that political sphere.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm just an OG British Open guy. All right. Anyway, looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll talk about that next week. Let's move on to the College World Series if you're ready for it.
And you're a fan of the non-existent tennis tournament, the British Open.
Dude, I knew the British Open was golf. I just got confused and then I got a little nervous, so I just tried to see if I was right with tennis.
Okay, Wimbledon.
right.
College World Series. Before we get to the gaff, the villain that is the NCAA, Stanford, the trees, they lost in, I think it's the worst way I've ever seen like a big baseball game, like a high stakes baseball game. It's the worst I've ever seen it before.
So for anyone that's listening, can you recap exactly what happened in that ninth inning?
Yeah, I'll recap it a little bit before. I mean, I was watching it in the golf shop because I had work. I watched the first like 5 innings, and then I had to go, do work. Came back, got done for the 7th inning. So I only missed 2 innings. Anyway, Stanford had plenty of opportunities to sever the neck in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th innings. Plenty of opportunities. So I'm going to say that. Like they could have very well broke the game wide open with the amount of guys they left on base. They're up 1 going into, I don't know, they're going into 7th, 8th. They bring in their ace, Brendan Beck, Pac-12 pitcher of the year. He looks better than I've ever seen him. Like legitimately, that's the best I've ever seen him look. And I've seen him be pretty damn good. 93 to 96. Hammer of a slider. He was unhittable. I think he struck out 5. And then 2 outs, no one on in the bottom of the 9th inning. All right, 1 pitch away. I got a tweet ready, ready for the Sam Cassell big balls for Brendan Beck. Just going down the court. I have it, my tweet's ready to send. Walked him after being up 1-2 in the count. So 1 guy on, no one out, nothing hurt. Cue ball, infield single. Fuck. God damn it. Base hit or walk, so bases loaded. Base hit, tie game. Bases loaded. Yipped on the first pitch. He throws a curveball that goes about 20 feet over the catcher's head. And it's one of those things. I don't know. You definitely haven't seen Kill Bill, have you? Because you haven't seen any movie.
Oh, actually, okay. Now you got me. Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2 are some of my favorite movies.
Oh, the boy! Let's fucking go!
I'm
Oh
ready.
my god!
With,
Did you just see the excitement on my face?
Yes,
when
I did.
Found out.
Hit me with that
man.
Kill Bill reference.
Okay, so the Kill Bill, the death move where you just touch the heart, like
yeah, the 5-finger death punch.
The 5-finger death punch, whatever. That was what happened to Stanford. They got 5-finger death punch. They lost the game, but they didn't that doesn't sink in that you lost the game like that. So you're already dead. Like you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. You're dead. And then all of a sudden 10 seconds, 15 seconds goes by and you're like, holy shit, like I'm really fucking dead right now. Like that's
when you take your 5 steps and then your heart explodes.
Right. Exactly. And that's just, I mean, literally my heart exploded for that team and those guys because I couldn't imagine getting eliminated from a College World Series game like that.
Yeah, so I wasn't watching that game, but Razo was texting me the updates, which is pretty hilarious. I actually wonder if I could read them verbatim real quick. It'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think it was in a group
when did this
text.
Game happen?
It was in a group text with you and Blake.
Okay, let me look real quick.
Yeah, I think it was on. Let's see. When did I work that shift? I believe.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, Stanford up. Stanford up 1, 2 outs, no one on in the bottom of the 9th. Walk, error, single, tie game. And I'm just like watching your text message thread. Wild pitch to lose, all-time abortion. Fuck. Wow. Sail the curveball.
All-time abortion.
Stanford biggest choke artist every year. Is that bad to do a ceremonial joint light for them on the OGV IG story? Which you did do, I believe.
Yeah, I did. I lit a joint. Gave a shout out to all the guys. Told them I was proud of them, which it couldn't have been more proud. It's like I said, sometimes baseball can just punch you in the fucking nutsack at the most random times, and you just kind of have to roll with it and take it as like a life lesson, because shit's gonna happen like that in life sometimes.
Yeah. As Augie Garrido once said, it's not about some goddamn game. It's about our lives.
It is. Yep. It's a great quote. Couldn't have said it better.
I could have streamed it.
And then we got to the NCAA just going full Stalin, full Putin. NC State, you kind of get this, you start seeing tweets right before they have a chance to eliminate Vanderbilt. Start seeing tweets, no one's in the dugout. What the fuck's going on? Turns out they got a COVID issue on their team, which you read like some of these guys are vaccinated, some of them aren't vaccinated. I'm sure it's the same on every damn team. Like, and I'm sure these guys are probably going out. Like they had won the first 2 games of the tournament. They're sitting pretty. You're in Omaha. You might as well go out and send it, baby. Like, stay loose. I love it. I'm all in. A few of their players caught COVID. Some of them, I guess, were in the didn't get it, but they were in the protocol because of contact tracing. Next thing you know, their Saturday starter, Sam Highfill, is playing first base and goes 3 for 3 off Kumar Rocker. They still lose, even though they actually put up a pretty good fight. And then the next day, the NCAA just says, actually, after further review, you guys actually can't play and you have to go home.
Yeah, this podcast has been a little bit more political than I thought it would be when I joined. There's been quite a few COVID sports things that are not so cut and dry. I don't know. I'm not going to make any comment on the vaccination side. I think that's, at this point kind of a personal thing, and what the consequences are if you take it or if you don't, or the risks either way. The NCAA is just on a power trip. For them, for those of you that don't know, they made that announcement that they're not going to play the elimination game, the last one, at 2 a.m. So no one, it's trying to make it no major news. Of course, it ends up being major news. And then the very next day, the NCAA posts, congrats to Omaha, largest attendance at a College World Series baseball game, 21,000. None of these people with masks, none of them getting tested. Yet here we are saying the team on the field has to go home because of COVID protocol, but we're going to have 21,000 people in the stands. And they posted both of those things within 24 hours.
And they also said, thanks NC State, thank them for coming, great season. Bro, obviously you can't say, oh, NC State would have won. That, there's a lot of things that could go on. There's other great teams that are involved. You can definitively say they looked like the best team in Omaha. I don't think that's disputable. They were playing phenomenal baseball.
On paper, they were the Cinderella team, but what they had to do to get to the College World Series made them not the underdog at all. And I wasn't surprised they were sitting in that position. And honestly, I think they would have won. I think they would have won one of those 2 games against Vanderbilt, and I think they'd be in the championship right now. So I know you can't really, know for sure, but to be honest, I've kind of I haven't really been following the College World Series since that happened.
I was going to say the same thing. I have. I've been watching, obviously, Vandy, Mississippi State. But, this was one of the coolest College World Series, one of the coolest NCAA baseball postseasons ever we've ever seen. There's just been a ton of eyes on the sport, and leave it to the NCAA to just take a gigantic shit on whatever they have going for them and make it about them. That's really what it's about. They're just making it about the NCAA.
Yeah, I don't know who I heard this from, but someone told me recently they're like, I know someone that works, in high up corporate America or something like that. And they were like, if the NCAA was a like a for-profit business, they would be in like a ton of legal trouble all the time. But just because I don't even know what, because they're just like supposed to be,
Are they a nonprofit?
I think they're technically a non-for-profit, but just because of what they do, they're not like, I don't know, they're not technically like a business. I don't know. I shouldn't really say anything on this, but they can just do whatever they want. Somehow they've gotten themselves in this position where they do whatever they want, where like no other company or organization or political party can like do what they do.
Yeah, I would love to. They've catapulted themselves dead ass into big oil, big pharma, big tech, the NRA, like that. That is, and then it's the NCAA, and that's in no order either. NCAA might be worse than all of them. If the NCAA were in charge of like you said, whoever said that in big corporate America, Wall Street, put them with Wall Street, like 80s Wall Street, 90s Wall Street. That's the NCAA. They're the worst.
Yep. We could have a whole discussion on the NCAA. I try not to get too emotional about it because it really seems like there is nothing you can do when the NCAA does something that you don't agree with. But this one is just like, this one seemed like a fuck you power trip for, I don't know, whatever reason.
God knows what reason. God knows what reason they decided that they had to lay a hammer down. Like, it's fucking brutal. But we're gonna get a good to end on like a somewhat positive note for this. We're gonna get a really good pitching matchup tomorrow in a winner take all for the title.
Yep.
So we'll have Will Bednar versus Kumar Rocker, two really exciting pitchers. So I'm excited for that. Of course, I'll watch. But yeah, NCAA dictatorship.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more.
We have yet to talk. Have you watched any Euro Cup?
No, I'm going to be completely honest with you. No, I have not
I
watched any Euro
appreciate the
Cup.
transparency and honesty. It's not so much. I don't know what the fuck to look at in soccer. I have a pretty good idea what to look at and the sports that I really commit to watching. No clue what the fuck I'm looking at in soccer other than, really cool goals, good speed, the flops. The one thing that just stands out to me the most, especially in these high stakes big tournaments, are the announcers. I don't think there's even a close second when it comes to building up the pageantry and spectacle of a sporting event other than soccer announcers. I mean, when Switzerland beat France yesterday, this guy, it was unbelievable. He's the French umpire walls are crumbling down and it is a slice of Swiss delight. Like, how does someone even come up with a slice of Swiss? What the fuck is a slice of Swiss delight? That's cheese, right?
That's what came to my mind.
That was immediately I thought cheese, but I mean, these guys are so dramatic. If a guy scores a goal, they'll come up with any sort of adversity. It's like, this man was in exile. His return to glory. Benzema. Like, it's truly remarkable. Like, his cat scratched him last week and he's come so far. Like, it's unbelievable how they do it. Do you have any other specific examples of these announcers?
I don't have any of this tournament. The only one that just always sticks out in my mind forever is like when you're a kid and turn on some like Spanish football league or whatever, and the announcer just says "go" and just holds it for, I don't know, 45 seconds, and you're kind of wondering if it'll ever end. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't surprise me though. There's no sport with a buildup like soccer has towards the goal where you can start to feel like they're going to score, the buildups, coming.
Yeah.
Or any other sport, it's either too quick or things happen too fast where you can be excited, but you can't build up to like, oh, I think Tatis is going to hit a home run. Just like keep, building.
Right.
You have no idea. Or like, even ice hockey, all of a sudden it's just in the net, where soccer is the one sport where it's, you might get a couple goals a game and you can kind of sense when they're going to come.
Right. But like, I mean, Tatis, you're not saying like he came from nothing. Like Tatis Homa's back to glory. Like it's just every time someone scores a goal in soccer, it's like they're coming back from this like terminal illness.
Yeah. And I mean, it's especially in like the Euro Cup when it's for your country, it feels it, they really try to make it feel like the
Hmm.
entire country is riding on the back of these soccer teams, which honestly,
Kind of is.
it probably is. And I'm just not familiar with it because I live in the United States where soccer is just,
Right.
just ain't it, fam. But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I couldn't even imagine if like one of these like Eastern former Soviet countries won like years of blanketed by the Soviet Union and Putin and Stalin, and now they're back to glory. I think it's awesome. They like incorporate history with all of it.
Can you imagine if I mean, like really the entire United States, like really all the metropolitan areas, like really got into soccer game, like United States soccer games? That would be so
Oh, they
epic.
would. They would. It wouldn't be the same if you go to like a European country because it's like if they lose, it's like, well, what the Yankees do tonight or something like that.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Whereas I just don't think it'll ever be the same.
Yeah, I don't think it will be either.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to the announcers for just making everything so dramatic. It really it makes me buy in. I'm in. NBA playoffs. Suns in 6 now, I guess. And then Hawks Bucks, ton of injuries. Giannis got hurt tonight. Hope that's not too serious. Sure,
It's serious.
it looked serious,
I
but I
mean,
hope it's wishful thinking.
yeah, I think the Bucks just looked distraught without Giannis and what had happened to him after he got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be distraught after seeing that? And like the Hawks, the Sun, whoever wins this Suns Clippers series is going to win the title. I'm just happy for honestly, I'm genuinely happy for Palmdale P. That's his new name. He's almost like a Pokemon where he is kind of evolving. So at first it was, well, I looked up his nickname on Basketball Reference. Batman is on there. Who the fuck calls him Batman?
I only know him as Playoff P and Pandemic P.
Yeah, well, now he's Palmdale P. Um, that's kind of how it started. He called himself Playoff P. Then he was eliminated by, I believe it was rookie Donovan Mitchell, may have been second year. So then Playoff P kind of turned into a bullying name where every time he sucked in the playoffs, they would just call him Playoff P. And then the pandemic hit, of course. He did not perform up to his standards in the bubble, where he then earned the nickname Pandemic P. That's probably the low. It's probably the low point of his career, I would say, just being called Pandemic P by everyone on social media. And then now he is spreading his wings. He's evolved into this new form. And now he's Palmdale P, aka where he's from. He's kind of just, it's come full circle. He's home. He's Palmdale P now.
I I like Paul George. I got nothing against him. He's a great basketball player, but I loved just getting into the playoffs and just yelling playoff P and pandemic P and just hoping he would
Mm-hmm.
miss every shot and just getting so excited that he was really, you know, I
A
don't know what the
punching
word.
bag.
My
A punching
personal
bag.
my personal punching
Yeah.
bag that I could just laugh at because he was, 4 for 20 from the field and missed a bunch of
Right.
free throws, and I could call him pandemic P.
Or just P. I just started calling like, oh, P, like every time he shot it. Yeah. It was him and Ben Simmons are probably the two biggest playoff
Pan,
punching bags.
pandemic B and pandemic P.
Yeah. Yeah. That those two are easily the two biggest playoff punching bags in the league. Um, Curious to see who takes on that mantle next. I I love honestly I love these NBA storylines. I've said it out in the open. other than Steph and Clay and Draymond and just the Warriors just being amazing, I love these NBA storylines and NBA Twitter more than I like the actual NBA games, I think. So I'm curious to see who's going to take that punching bag mantle next in the league. Who's next? Who next up?
Yeah, in general, NBA Twitter is one of the best places on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find something funny as a post, go to the comments, because usually the comments are like
15
10
other
times
funny.
funnier than the post. So if you
Yeah.
find something funny NBA related on Twitter, scroll down to the comments, because that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. Any idea actually who's the next punching bag? Ben Simmons is. I can't see him slowing down anytime soon. If he
I'm just
even
thinking about
makes
like
the
who's going to
playoffs.
make it to the playoffs and who's going to suck.
I mean, if Booker blows this lead, Booker's a prime candidate.
But he's not like
But he's too
bad
cool.
though.
He's like cool.
I could see like the Mavericks making it next year, and Porzingis just like continuing to play horrible, and Porzingis
Okay.
just get, because he's also just way overpaid and people are starting to hate him already.
I hope it's only people that have the names with P, so you just keep saying playoff P.
That fits perfectly with our podcast too. If you've been listening to it, we really like to abbreviate names. John from S, Patrick C,
Harry E.
Harry E. So yeah,
Oh, God.
anytime we finish a name with one letter, it works out well for us.
Yeah, we love it. I'm a big acronym abbreviations guy. Anything else on the NBA? I thought that was really good. That's kind of what I want to steer towards in the NBA, just kind of those unique storylines rather than actually just breaking down the fucking games.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I had just written down Giannis out, Bucks probably out, Suns in 4 championship.
Suns in 4.
I want Suns in 4.
I saw someone they photoshopped a 5 on the guy's hand, so for game 5. And then after, someone literally drew a 6th finger on the guy, and it was just Suns in 6. And that's NBA Twitter in a nutshell. It's some of the funniest fucking content you'll ever see.
Yep, that's it. That's it on the NBA.
All right, we're efficient with time here. Yeah, hell yeah, we are.
We're cruising. We're like 35 minutes right now.
Yeah, that's perfect. We have a really good decompression. You just got back from New York City. It was your birthday. I hope everyone wished you a happy birthday. I hope you had an excellent birthday. I'm gonna pull up this picture. You got shit-faced. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's pull up this picture here.
Responsibly, of course.
You were responsible. Your friends got you home, and you had a great night. Is this? Oh yeah. No wait. Is this you? Or is that Blake?
Oh, that's actually
Esson. That's Esson.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I just accidentally showed Esson instead of you. Good for him though. There's nothing like sleeping. Did you sleep in your clothes like that?
No, I actually, even on the night of my birthday, I tucked myself in. I didn't plug my phone in. Wasn't quite of that. It wasn't in that mindset. So I woke up with a dead phone. But yeah, tucked myself in. Was in my my shorts, and that was it. Had a good night.
That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. The Big Apple. What is your first, top of the head review of the Big Apple at the age you're at, being able to get amongst the city?
Yeah, I had only been one time prior when I was 12 with my dad. Great experience. Saw a lot of the tourist attractions, spent some quality time. We'll never forget it.
Did you hit Rikers?
When I was 12? I didn't hit Rikers either time. Geez. It hits different when you're 25, 26. I'll tell you that for sure. Everything is cramped. It's I don't know, millions and millions of people in a tiny space, tons of good looking people. Everyone's out, everyone's at the bars, everyone's doing things. No one's staying inside, especially in the summertime. Pretty electric, like from 8 a.m. until 4 a.m. There's like 4 hours there where the streets are a little bit quiet.
8 a.m. until 4 a.m. What time do the bars close there?
4 a.m.
Oh my God. So you guys were there. What time did you start drinking like every day?
I mean, we were just late. Everything is just later. Like people get up later. I think it's just that's how East Coast time
It's
works,
kind of
right?
a España type feel.
A little bit, yeah. So we get up later. We'd have dinner around like 8 or 9, and we go out and we'd be at the bars till 2, 3, 4. Go get pizza because pizza's open and $1 everywhere or whatever. So
How was the pie there? Grade A.
outstanding. Had a couple 99-cent slices, and honestly, even those played. But went to a couple places, little Geo's, and shout out. I think it's just Joe's Pizza, straight up.
Yeah.
But they're like got pictures with
I
like
bet there's a lot of those.
no, but these ones are like well known. I could
Okay.
tell, and they have like pictures with like all the celebrities in them and stuff, and that was some damn good pizza.
I love it. I love it. So while we're on that topic, where does New York rank then in your favorite cities?
God, I'm definitely biased since I was there 3 days ago, but
Yeah, recency bias
it's probably
called communication major.
uh, yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Let me think here. I'll put it. Granted, I haven't visited cities that I really think are awesome. I'll put it like top 3.
Okay. And what rounds out your top 3?
San Diego's up there for sure. Love Nashville. I gotta imagine if I went to Austin or Miami, those would probably be in the mix above those other ones, but I just haven't been there. So and Scottsdale's just barely behind. Love Scottsdale. Just not quite as big as those other cities. So I'd probably put New York, San Diego, Nashville, and Scottsdale.
I was rounding out the top 4. Now, is San Francisco up there?
I'm not a San Francisco fan. Maybe it's just because I grew up in the Bay Area, but I have no interest in moving to San Francisco.
Well, I don't have an interest in moving to San Francisco necessarily. I just love San Francisco. Like
What do you like about it?
the food is amazing. Phenomenal food. They got the best I've been to a lot of baseball stadiums. I've been to Fenway, I've been to Wrigley, I've been to Pittsburgh, which is up there. I've been to Petco, I've been to Denver. I haven't been to Kansas City, their park, but I'm guessing that was just the first one that came to mind that I haven't been
Why is
to.
that an example? There's no
I
way
don't know.
Kansas City is sick.
There's no way that's cooler than AT&T Park or Oracle Park, whatever the fuck it's called now. I know it's called SBC Park for a while. I don't think
Pac Bell, baby.
Pac Bell is the Bonds years. That's the OG years. But I don't think anything can compare to AT&T Park. I also love like the atmosphere around it. You got the Bay Bridge, phenomenal views. I mean, it's just kind of dirty. That's really the only thing. I mean, I've been punched by a homeless guy at Chipotle before, so that's not ideal. But the city's great, man. I love the city. I got a couple other cities on there. Number 1, I completely agree with Miami.
I
I
haven't been
think
there, but have you been there recently
I'm
or
convinced.
ever?
I've never been there, but I'm convinced it'd be number 1. And maybe the only reason that it wouldn't be number 1 is because of the humidity, and I have sweating stuff.
Yeah, that's all right though. Everyone's gonna be sweaty. All right, so Miami never visited, but is your
But
number
we're
one city.
just
Good to know.
number 1, Miami. Vegas. I
Oh, I didn't
love
even think Vegas.
Vegas. Not even, well, yes, because of the amongst itness, but Vegas has good food, man. They got really good food in Vegas. They got good breakfast spots, good lunch spots, great fancy dinner spots. Vegas is on the map as far as food goes. Trying to think. I mean, if we want to go, we're international. Okay, we're not just a domestic.
I didn't even think about that.
This is going to kind of catch you by surprise here.
Wait, let me guess. Is it a European country or a European city?
It is a European country and it's a European city. It falls into both categories.
Got it. That would make sense. Is it Ibiza?
No, I've
Ibiza?
never. I bet Ibiza would be up there, though, big time if I went. but I
Yeah, I
can't
just
give that the Miami tag yet.
right. I just thought maybe you'd been there and you love Ibiza, you love España.
I've never been to Spain.
All right, so what is it?
So I went to Italy when I was in 7th grade with my family. Love Florence, by the way. That's also up there. Um, went to Italy in 7th grade. One of my parents signed us up to go on this like planned trip through. I don't know what Umbria is. It's a province. I don't know if it's a state. I don't know how the shit works up there. Umbria is comprised of a bunch of cities. I don't know how big it is. It's in Italy. And they were like, yeah, we're going through these hill towns of Umbria. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, leave me and Lorenzo in Rome. Let's let's have a time in Rome. You guys can go through the hills and do whatever you want up there. But they didn't allow us to. They convinced us it was the right idea. All right, whatever. It was so worth it. Every single part, going through these little towns, just I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to just stay there for like a month. Just wake up, read the morning paper, even though it's in Italian, I probably couldn't. I probably wouldn't be able to read it.
Look at Italian for an
Yeah,
hour.
just kind of look, just people watch for a little bit, sip my coffee, maybe put a little bit of amongst it juice in the coffee, and just take in the views of the city. It's these little hill towns that are propped up there. The last city was called Montefalco, and we stayed at this like villa that was also a hotel, and it was a countess. I don't know what the fuck a countess is. I just know it sounds like it's kind of high up there in the hierarchy of
Okay.
titles. Do you know what a countess or a count? I know
No,
Count Dracula.
I'm just thinking accountant, so I have no idea.
I don't think she was an accountant. I think she has an accountant that does stuff for her. She was royalty. Her husband, just this silky smooth fucking cat from San Francisco. He was a waiter in the city, and this chick, I'm assuming this countess, beautiful countess, falls in love with this waiter from San Francisco while she's visiting San Francisco. This guy marries into royalty, and now they're living on this like beautiful Italian villa, most down to earth people you'll ever meet. They offered me wine when I was in 7th grade, which is normal, by the way, in European countries. That's why I'm assuming they know how to handle their alcohol more than the United States. Whereas here it's just a competition to see who can get the most fucked up. Um, but my parents, like, it was just such an amazing experience, like how real and cool the people were there, how amazing the food was, how much they cared about soccer, because that Euro Cup was going on. I think it was like 2008 or something like that. So circling back, it's the whole province of Umbria, Italy. I don't think you would
Got
have
it.
guessed that one.
Got it. No, no, I would not have. So to sum it up, you got Miami. Did you have another city in the United States? San Francisco. You love San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean Scottsdale's there. Scottsdale, I
You love.
love Scottsdale.
That's why you're still there, baby.
Yeah, that's why
And
I'll
then
be here.
to round it out, Umbria, Montefalco
Yeah, good.
at the Countess.
At the
Um,
Countess's villa.
yeah, the Countess's Villa. So if anyone's ever been there, definitely let us know.
Yeah, if we have
Um,
some listeners that have been to Montefalco, Orvieto was one, Perugia. Um, I think that's all I can remember.
look at you, so cultured. Didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, thank Laura and Jose. I just doxed my parents. Um, but they showed me the ways. So shout out to them.
Good, good decompression. That was a good story.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. We got anything else?
I think that sums it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, great show.
Cool, awesome. Thanks for having me
Yeah,
on again.
thank you. And follow the Instagram page. I'm continuing to post stuff. I'm posting stories, posting actual posts. Just really anything funny or random from the show. If you have some suggestions too, give us some suggestions. What should we post? OGV_golf, and my personal account at Orazo3, my Twitter at Orazo.
Yep. OGV, great account. Follow myself, obviously. Love a lot of the stuff that Orlando's posting. He's the head of that content. If you listen to the podcast or vlog, like it, subscribe, comment on the YouTube, like, subscribe, comment on the Instagram. The more, the better. Appreciate that. My personal Instagram is Alex E. Aguirre. If you want to follow me, if you love what I do, check it out. And that's it.
Yep. And yep, the podcast thing, great point there. We're available on the podcast too. So if you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, just listen to the podcast.